Thank you for listening to my podcast. Like my page on Facebook for daily inspirational quotes with pictures from Indian country and for other podcast interviews with successful Native or Indigenous people.
Hello, listener. Thank you for joining us on 21st Century Native Leaders. My name is Peter Desert III, and we are here with Christian Parrish, a.k.a. Supaman. How are you doing today?
Yeah. Hey, it's a beautiful day to be alive. I'm doing good. I'm up here in Canada. Weather's perfect right now.
Right on. So tell us about yourself, your tribal affiliation, and where you come from, brother.
Shula Jay, Balasha, Agimak Sulahu, Biashichidik, about it. Hello, my good relatives. My name is Christian Parrish. Takes the gun, a.k.a. Superman. I'm from the Apsalaga Nation in Montana, or the mistranslation is Crow Nation. And so that is home for me. My Apsalaga name is Agimachla, which is good fortune on Mother Earth. My clan is the Ashchida, which is the Big Loss clan. And so I'm a hip-hop artist, flute player, fancy dancer, husband, father, practicing comedian.
Nice. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You bet. Yep.
Tell us about your career.
I've been doing hip-hop music for some time, maybe 15 years or so. Started getting into hip-hop early age when we had Public Enemy and NWA. Sugar Hill Gang was probably the first hip-hop song that I've ever heard. It was really, really good sound. And so just kind of drawn towards that culture, because of the voice that hip-hop had. It was the voice of oppressed people, in the inner cities and things like that. So as Native Americans, Indigenous people, kind of like were drawn to that. It was like a voice for us almost. And so I enjoyed the b-boying and the graffiti, of course, and the scratching sounds on the turntable, the turntablism. And so I started getting into that kind of culture. And then growing up in Crow Agency, I was always, drug and alcohol free, so that was evident in my lyrics, just trying to be positive at the same time and do hip-hop music from a res perspective, and started just progressing, and realizing that there was a good need for a platform like mine, where you were Native and you were speaking some positive words, saying spirituality, of course, and things like that. So I just kind of got into it and becoming an MC, progressing, and then started mixing the culture, infusing the culture and sounds into looping, to where we made some videos, put them online, called the Prayer Loop song, started going viral, and people were sharing this video, like Snoop Dogg, he shared it, Issei Morales, some celebrities, and Michelle Rodriguez, so kind of big names, were sharing this video. So my career, I guess you could say, started expanding more, going beyond the res, so to speak. I was always invited to conferences that were just Indigenous people, Native people, and now with the videos and stuff, it kind of goes beyond, goes past that, and reaching out to different kinds of cultures, different people. So it's awesome.
That's absolutely amazing. I saw your video had over 1 million views. Those are some big names that you just listed. Absolutely. So what point did you blend the dancing with the hip-hopping and the MCing?
It was actually maybe about 7 years ago. As I said, I was always a powwow dancer, it was just kind of normal life, in powwow culture. And we always kind of kept a line in between the hip-hop and the, culture. For whatever reason, it was kind of like taboo to mix them together, way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got invited to perform and dance over in Bozeman, Montana at college. They said, can you come and dance for Native American Heritage Day, display the dances, talk about the history of the dance that you do? And I was like, yeah, sure, we can. And they said, you know what, there's going to be a lot of kids there. Don't you guys do rap too, do hip-hop? Yeah, we do. They said, can you guys, perform for them as well? I was like, yeah, we can. And so we agreed to do that. So we went there and we danced, we told the stories and did culture, Native culture. And then we were walking off stage after we were done to go change, into our hip-hop clothes or whatever, and come back and rap. And so we're heading out, and they're like, where are you guys going? We're like, go change, we're going to go take our feathers off, our buckles off, our outfits off, and come back and we'll rap. They're like, no, we need you to go on right now, because there's no time, there's no other speaker, it's just you guys. And so we're like kind of forced into that position of like, oh my God, we gotta perform right now. There's no time, and we had our outfits on, our native outfits and power outfits. And so me and my nephew, he's a northern traditional dancer. And so all right, well, we'll just perform like this. So we wore our outfits and we performed, and it became special. And at that moment, like people are like, oh wow, what's going on here? We're just dancing just a little while ago. Now they're doing hip hop, right here. And they got something, good to say too, good music. And so we finished up and we went off to the side, and it was a hit. People liked it, enjoyed it. And then I saw one of our elders, from our tribe. I saw him coming over, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna scold us, or he's gonna say something, we shouldn't have done that or whatever. But he came over and he said, he took his hat off right before he got to us. He took his hat off, extended his hand, and said, hey, you know what? That was pretty damn powerful what you guys did just now. He said, you guys got up there and you showed them that you embrace who you are as a native person, with the culture, and you're proud of who you are, and that's all we had. And then you spoke the language of the youth, which was hip hop, and they listened to you, and you had something good to say. You had positive words to say. So that was powerful. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. What you just did, because our young people are dying. They're in drugs, they're in alcohol, they're committing suicide. Anything you do, with good intentions and a good heart, is worth the effort. So he kind of gave us that word of encouragement to like infuse the culture, and use it in a good way. And so after that, we kind of got invited, to some other places, and we would dance, and then we would rap, and then when it came to doing the looping, that's when I really infused the culture, and did the looping with the instruments, the native instruments, and then rapped in my outfit and performed.
Wow, that was an absolutely amazing story. I mean, you performed separately, and then you kind of just got pushed into that situation, and it kind of just blew up for you, huh?
Yeah, it was great. It was a great opportunity, great timing, because like I said, I always kept it separate, for whatever reason, didn't want to offend anybody or, do it wrong, or whatever, but after getting it from the elders, when you get the green light from the elders, you're doing something good and positive, and that's what it's all about. If I was up there cussing and talking about drugs and I was in my outfit, then surely, get that guy out of here. You shouldn't be doing that, But if you're up there saying, hey, be a good dad, be a good husband, be drug and alcohol free, and live a positive life, help people out. If I'm rapping about that, then heck, that's a good thing.
Right on. How important was that elder coming up to you, encouraging you, telling you to keep going with what you're doing?
It was really important. It was key. It was actually key, because I don't think I would have ever made the prayer loop song, if I didn't get that word, and that kind of approval, so to speak, from the elders in that way. Saying that, hey, this is a good thing, I probably wouldn't have taken it to that next level of infusing, hip-hop with fancy dancing, to that extent of the videos.
But, so, I interviewed Helen back in Defy, and very similar to you, they really pushed this positive message and encouraging the youth to go out there and be successful. And what do you think that this happened, or did you consciously think that, I want to push that positive vibe to the community? Was that a conscious decision?
It was a conscious decision, but early on, you kind of do it for fun. You kind of do it for fun, and you just kind of play around with it. And then as you go on, as I was saying before, like we were living a positive life anyway. I'm drug and alcohol free. I never touched alcohol, ever in my life. And so people would say, hey, man, you never drank in your life? And I was like, nope, never have. And they're like, hey, you should come and rap at our school, and kind of promote that. do a performance. So I kind of found out that there was a need for that, for that voice of sobriety and being positive. And so it was just normal life, I guess, for me. It was already conscious, in my lifestyle already. So when I did the music, it was that's just kind of went with the flow.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, any current projects you're working on?
Yes, I'm working on a project titled Illuminative, and I've been working on for this project for like a couple of years. It's been so busy with touring, haven't had the chance to actually finish the album, and so I'm looking to get that done. I guess got 2 collaborations that I did. One with Myona Youssef, she's an amazing artist, R&B singer, and then another one with MC by the name of Passionate MC. So he's always on Team Backpack, doing some he's amazing lyricist. So I got those 2 back, and I was like, okay, that's my green light to finish this up, And got Wake Self, he's going to be on there. He's finishing up. We're going to be doing a video at the end of this month for the song we're doing. I'm looking forward to that, and as well as our tour down there, Taos, Gallup. I'm looking forward to that.
Dang, I'll have to come check you out. So, whenever you were, absolutely. So I heard you when you were talking about your story of how you blended the emceeing and the dancing. You talked about culture. How important is it to you?
Oh, it's my identity. It's who I am. It's how I'm connected with the earth, and how I'm connected with my ancestors. And so that is totally important, like to preserve the language, to preserve the kinship and everything that comes along with who I am as an Apsaluga, as a native in that piece. So, and it's very important, like after traveling so much and being to so many different reservations, you see the state of emergency, that us native indigenous people are in when it comes to preserving who we are, our identity as native people with the language and with our culture. And so to see that, like puts me in high gear, like, and it makes me value, the culture even more, like every native person, I hope that they would be passionate about learning their language, about learning the old stories, the creation, just everything that they can, everything, as much as they want to breathe.
Absolutely. So whenever you look back and you take a look at your career, where do you think you get this strength to just be a leader in the Native community?
That comes from the people and the results, and also the answered prayers. Like I prayed so many times when I was younger. We would go to our gigs. I used to have a crew called Resurrection, and we were more kind of like almost Christian, pretty Christian based. And so we were very prayerful and into Christian culture, church culture, and we would travel a lot. And we would pray, we would pray hard. Let us reach millions, with a good message. Let us reach all these people. Let change come, and we would pray these things. And then later on in my career, like everybody else went their separate ways, but then I kept going with the hip hop and the music, and to see those prayers come to pass, where millions of people are listening to the music that I have, and they're being impacted in a positive way, is answered prayer. So to see that it keeps me motivated, and also my family, my children, my kids, they're watching, what I do and how I conduct myself and my character, and that motivates me, to stay on that good road and that good path and continue on.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I just love that positive vibe that you're pushing out there, and you take a look at it, you're right, you're absolutely right. We have so many negative and influences in our life, and we have all of this social stuff that we're faced with. But you look at that. Who do you look up to the most?
I have to be the creator. Like the creator's like he's the one who makes everything possible. And that love that I've experienced in prayer myself. That's what I would say I look up to the most. Is the Most High. And there's certainly plenty of influences, in hip hop and people in my life that have encouraged me, just by their lifestyle. Like one, for instance, fancy dancer, his name was JoJo Myron Shield. I looked up to him growing up, being a dancer, and he was really positive. He was a state champion cross-country runner. He had just conducted himself in a good way, and it kind of was a role model, whether he knew it or not. And so there was him. There was my mom, of course, like growing up in an alcoholic family. I lost my dad at the age of 10 to alcoholism and suicide. And so she decided to, hey, I'm done with alcohol. She never touched a drop after that, after she lost her husband. And she remained a good mom to us. Like she stepped up to the plate, and so she would be my role model as well.
That's awesome. So how does it feel to be a leader for millions of natives?
It's awesome. Yeah, it's great to know that your platform reaches the people, and so it kind of gives you that, you got to be careful, with that, it's power, you have that power and that gift that the Creator has given you, and so you have to nurture it, you have to take care of it and treat it good, because it's a gift, and just like anything, it can be taken away from you in an instant. And so you got to take care of it, and I'm just glad and happy and blessed, to have that platform. And I always tell the people too, not to look up to human beings, as much, because we're all the same. Every human has their own fault. They have their own secrets that nobody knows about, that they struggle with. And it's good to have role models and leaders, but as humans, we all fail. Every human fails, each other, and the only one that doesn't fail is, the Almighty, the Creator, who makes everything possible, and that's the one to look to the most. And but as a leader, it's good to I'll take that position. I'll take that position and do what I can in the capacity that I have. Whether it's the arts or whether it's speaking, and I'll do my best. It won't always be life changing, but I'll do the best that I can, for whoever will listen.
Absolutely. Can you explain what it means to be a modern Indian?
Yeah, to be a modern Indian, modern native is we walk in two worlds, and so we have to balance that out. As indigenous people, we have our culture and we have our different values and the way that things are conducted in the native community, and then we have the dominant society, of TV and media and just a whole other world that we walk in every day. So for us to walk those two worlds, walk in those two worlds with balance, and where you're good, you're good and you're happy. I think that's probably the most important thing, and that's what a modern native does. He's able to maneuver and carry the values of his ancestors in the modern day world, and to be able to teach those to the youth as well.
That's awesome. I look at your videos, and it's amazing the platform you have. The message that you're trying to push to the youth, and actually to natives and non-natives. But whenever you look back at this, what's the biggest challenge you've overcome?
The mentality of the res, which is a poverty mentality. When the bomb, so to speak, dropped, when our cultures were being stripped of the people, it was like a devastation, like when you're being told that your ways are evil and you can't speak your language, your whole identity is shook up, that our ancestors had to go through. And for us, for me and you, it's easier now, the ripples of that wave are kind of further out for us, so it's easier for us, but they had to endure that ultimate blast, so to speak, and so for us to continue on in that is very important to get that culture and the values and uphold them, every single day.
Nice, absolutely eloquently stated. So whenever you look at this, I know you perform all over probably the world and the U.S., and I'm sure in front of non-indigenous people. What do you think mainstream society needs to know about Native life?
Oh man, there's so much. There's so much, man. Like, they need to be educated in everything, like, really. I mean, I would hope that someday they would be, like they would know what America is, like what America was truly founded on, and just the total history, and the whole view of Native people would change, when that is stated, someday, hopefully. I would say that just respect, I mean, honor and respect and acknowledgement of what was done, and the whole, they're like, well, that wasn't me. You hear non-natives say, well, it wasn't me. I'm good, cool. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. I don't want an apology, but do your part. Do your part in your culture to change that the way we're viewed. Do your part to change the whole system that was set up against Native people, because they're the ones, I mean, we do our part as Native people to change that, but, ultimately, it's going to have to be a change of culture all the way across the board, for people just to come to realize, hey, we need to change the system, we need to change what was done, and the retributions, that come along with that.
Mm-hmm, that's absolutely true. I mean, I like the way you talked about that retribution. I know a lot of people don't like to hear about the retribution, but this, people have got to understand that this has happened already, and that they need to find a way to somehow. I mean, like you said, people say all the time, well, that wasn't mine, that was me, those are my ancestors. But I feel sometimes people modern they kind of use that as an excuse, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, most definitely they'll be like, oh, you know what, get over it. Now is now, and you're able to, you have the same rights as me, but really, no, we don't. We don't.
Yeah,
it's brand new to us. Like all our rights, voting, everything, that's brand new still. Like we're just now like starting, and then people need to know. Like the people need to know, because they swept it and they hid it. They hid all these atrocities that they done to the Native people because they're ashamed of what was done. And so to bring that into light, which is happening now, which is a good thing. People are more empathetic. People are becoming more empathetic, and they're doing something about it. Even when they're not even tied to the culture, they're not even Native, and they're like, hey, this is, they're speaking up, for revealing the history of where they came from and their ancestors. So there is a movement that is happening, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And where do you stand as far as the no DAPL? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, yep. I'm total, no DAPL all the way, man. Like my tribe, up Saluga, we use fossil fuels. Coal is our fuel that we have, and our tribe has always been like, yeah, we get a per cap from that, and it's part of, it's just normal. Like everybody, we wait for per cap, but as I got older, and as you get older, your values change, and I'm like, man, what are we gonna do when that coal's over? When that oil's over, you're gonna tear up more of Mother Earth, more of the land, until everything is tore up, and we have nothing. And so that's where I'm at. I'm like, just stop. There's a better way. There's a better way. There's better fuel. I'm totally against it, the oil and everything. So.
Nice. So I noticed, you have the platform to have some activism a part of your music. Do you incorporate some of those activist ideals into your music?
Yeah, I express those views, that I have, either whether it's social media or whatever. If I'm speaking, I always try to share those, those views and those opinions that I have, the values that I have when it comes to different issues, whether it's, no DAPL or just, human rights in itself, try to speak up on our history of, Native people, like Canadians. I'm here in Canada, and there's a big thing of, 4th of July. We don't celebrate 4th of July because, hey, that was the signing of the killing and raping of, Native people and conquering them. So it's why should I celebrate that? So I'll express that, in my platform as well, just different things. I became more vocal about that too. As you get older, you're educating yourself as well. You're learning. We're all learning. Every day, and as we get older, and our values change sometimes. So we're like, hey, I'm really passionate about this. This needs to be addressed, and I'm going to say something about it. So definitely.
Absolutely, that's great. So do you have any advice for future MCs or dancers?
Yeah, I would say, go all out, man. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy life. Make some good music. Keep it positive, especially if you're a native MC. Like, our people have gone through so much, we don't need any more negatives, like, we don't need any more perpetuating any kind of negativity, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, crime, or anything like that. We don't need any glorifying of that at all. We've been through too much. So be positive, man. Uplift the people. Do it in a creative way. Where people are like, yo, this guy's dope. He's got skills, but he's a positive dude. Yo, I'm down with that. And the people, you'll see that they'll get in back of that, because they know that our people need more positive and more life, more love. So they'll back you up, and you're not going to look soft, or you're not going to be weak. You'll be backed up, by the people when you do something positive. So I would say that go all out, man. Just don't listen to the naysayers on the side, and just follow your heart. 100%.
When you take away the dancing, the MCing, the hip hop, the music, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a good father and a good husband, a good friend to the people, somebody who gave, and somebody who had a heart, for his family. That would be the most important.
That's powerful. So is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
I would just say, no matter what you go through out there, anybody listening, I would say, don't quit, don't give up. Just keep on going. A better day is ahead. There's always hope, always believe that there's hope for a better day, and speak those things, and have a prayer life, practice a prayer life. If you don't know how to pray, man, just as the elders are, just talk, just talking from the heart. And that, when you have a prayer life, man, that's the foundation of who we are as human beings, I believe. That's where we connect, and we commune, and we speak these things into existence, through prayer.
That's amazing. And how can people contact you? Are you on social media?
Yep, you can Google Supaman, Supaman, and my social media always comes up. The common name is Supaman Hip Hop. That's on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, Supaman Hip Hop. And you can reach me on any of those platforms, as well as Snapchat. My Snapchat is Billy-Ills, ILLS. I'm always on Snapchat.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to share your knowledge, experience, and wisdom with our audience.
Hello, listeners. I hope you enjoyed this episode, listening to the challenges and the tribulations of the guests that I had today. Please follow me on 21st Century Native Leaders. Go to my page, give my page a like for future episodes, and also for quotes from books that I read, articles that I read, and the pictures are from Indian country, in particular the Navajo Nation. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you come back and hear another future episode. Have a good day. Yeah.